Hey everybody, welcome to What the Flick. Bibbs, Alonso, Doctor Who Christmas special number...
Whatever. It's actually hard to keep track. There's a
Who
lot.
even knows? The return of Doctor... Who even knows? The return of Doctor Mysterio.
This is the least Christmassy Doctor Who Christmas special maybe ever? I'm trying to think. It's pretty incidental.
They upped the ante last year with Nick Frost as Santa Claus. I mean, that's...
Well, they kind of started running... Listen, they had a beautiful version of A Christmas Carol. I watch almost every year. It makes me cry. Honestly, I think The Doctor, The Widow, and The Wardrobe is really underrated. And they've done other good ones as well that maybe tied more into the plot, the David Tennant episodes, except for maybe the Starship Titanic one. They're a bit more just a regular Doctor Who episode that happens to take place at Christmas. But this one, the first bit of it's at Christmas, and then the rest of it's a Doctor Who superhero story, which is kind of novel. I don't know if this needed to be the Christmas special. This feels more like an episode that got a little out of hand. That got maybe a little too much attention because we've been waiting a whole year, and you have an episode that's mostly about characters who aren't the Doctor, and you can get away with that. Blink is one of the best Doctor Who episodes ever. It's not really that much Doctor in it, but this one, it's so corny. I kept expecting the twist to be that it didn't happen. Yeah, or that it's a TV show within a show or something. Because it felt so contrived and tired. Well, here's the plot. The plot is the Doctor is actually, if you recall an earlier episode, the Doctor actually can't go back to New York City because of this big time thingy, wibbly wobbly timey wimey. So he's actually finally going to New York to fix it, which is actually kind of a fun idea. And in order to do it, he has the MacGuffin thing that a young child swallows because the doctor said he was a doctor and it looked like he was giving the child medicine. Not a terribly bright child. And the kid ends up swallowing this thing that gives him like whatever he wanted most, and what he wanted most was to be a superhero. Cut to 20-ish years later, and he's an actual superhero living in New York with cornball villains, a very obvious sort of Lois Lane analog. And I kind of expected to find out that this stone or whatever was giving him his wish of a life of a superhero, and then we eventually find out that he just woke up. Right. There's even a bit at this sort of press conference where the Doctor, who has turned the robot from the previous Christmas special into his own personal assistant because he got lonely, shows up and says, "Where's the little boy's room?" And everyone's, it's like funny. It's like, no, I mean it. Where's the little boy's room? And I thought that was going to be a plot point, that the little boy is in his room still this entire time. No, it's just kind of a cornball superhero story. Yeah, I kept thinking, surely there's going to be something smarter or more interesting than this in this sort of like tepid kind of superhero spoof, and there isn't. There's no greater purpose to it. No, not at all. And I'm sorry, if you're gonna have like that obvious a Siegel and Schuster reference right early out of the gate, it's like, oh, come on. Come on, show. And the other difficult thing is that, we have really good superhero shows on television right now. Yeah. We have The Flash is firing on all cylinders, Supergirl is really, really great, and Arrow and Legends of Tomorrow are maybe not as good as they could be right now, but they're fun and they work. And we have the Netflix Marvel shows. We have the Netflix Marvel shows. I'm thinking about more like the episodic, more broadly entertaining ones, because like Luke Cage has real ambitions, Daredevil has real ambitions, Jessica Jones has real ambitions. So they're doing something that other shows are doing better, and they're really not putting a Doctor Who spin on it, other than the Doctor is there, but he doesn't even like do that much. He's just there, he stops brains from taking over the planet, that's always fun. But I don't know, it's like they're not even taking advantage of the fact that he's there. So the idea is this superhero well, I'm sorry. The thing is, like, it's not even goofing on the contemporary superhero in terms of all the movies or even all those TV shows. This feels like you could have done this exact same episode in 1985. Oh, absolutely. Like, there's no fresh take on this rather played out trope. They clearly like just love Superman the movie. Yes. Like, that's what this is taking off of, and everything else really hasn't been updated. And there's a place for that. Yeah. I got nothing against that, but and honestly, everyone does a decent job. I forget the name of the actress who plays the Lois Lane character, but she was on The Player, and she was the best part of that show. The guy playing the Ghost, the superhero, the adult version of the superhero. Justin Marks? He's Dragon Ball Z, the live-action movie. He's, okay. Yeah. He sounded like one of those British actors who's trying to sound American by listening to a lot of Ben Foster performances. I just found that very distracting. Ben Foster's your go-to. Well, no, but didn't he sound like Ben Foster at times? I could kind of see it. It's disappointing, honestly.
Yeah.
It's not bad. Like, I did kind of enjoy it, but like I literally, because they showed the Doctor, the Widow, and the Wardrobe right before this one, and that's one that's funny. That's the one that's sad. That's one that's weird and inventive. It's not everyone's favorite, but it makes me choke up every single time I watch it. And then there's this, which is cute.
But
it's cute.
It's like, I mean, I'm a relative newcomer to this show. Yeah. I started with Capaldi, basically. And it's always fun to watch him and fun to watch him and Matt Lucas, certainly.
He's having more fun now than he used to. Like, when he started out, they tried to make him really serious, and he's really entertaining in this one.
Yeah, and he doesn't, like, have to be cranky all the time, you know. But, yeah, this felt kind of like weak sauce. However, the coming up on the next season was like, oh, this could be interesting.
Well, that's the good thing about Doctor Who, is that even though there are through lines and there are characters that
they're
we
constantly
follow,
reinventing themselves.
One lame episode of Doctor Who doesn't necessarily mean it's gone off the rails. We're just waiting for the next. It's rare to find a genuinely bad episode of Doctor Who, especially in the modern era, but like, or maybe even in the past. I'm not terribly, I haven't seen every episode. But there's never like an episode so bad that makes me want to give up the show entirely, because I know the next one, it could be an entire reversal.
Sure.
So like, I see one that's kind of disappointing, like Dinosaurs on a Spaceship. Great premise, not a good episode. But then the next one, I don't remember what it was, but I remember thinking, oh, well, it's back on track. It's doing okay again.
Well, Capaldi's my first Doctor, but also this will be my first new companion.
That's true. Yeah, you're right about that.
So,
and Capaldi's not long for this series, isn't he? Like leaving relatively soon. So this will be interesting to see how you handle a transition. Hashtag not my doctor. Because that happened. That happened with Matt Smith.
Sure.
It happened with David Tennant.
No, every single time.
No one complained when Christopher Eccleston left, but he's underrated. I actually thought he was really great, but
he's the Timothy Dalton of Doctor Who's, maybe.
I don't know. I think he gets a bum rap. I think he did something really, really great with it. But in any case, yeah. So a bit of a letdown. Yeah. Just kind of an okay episode, maybe blown a bit out of proportion.
Yeah, a bit of a piffle. I think we could safely say. But it's nice to see everybody back, and we will certainly be back again with our usual co-hosts. Meredith sends her love. She could not make it in today, but we'll be back with the new season of Doctor Who, and we hope to see you then.